Hey y'all, Alyece Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Ausome podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. All right, y'all, let's dive right in. So what exactly are hooks when it comes to content creation? To put it simply, hooks are those attention-grabbing elements in your content that really captivate your audience from the very beginning. Think of them as the wow moment or the wow factor that make your audience stop scrolling and start engaging. And when we're speaking in terms of video content, because so many of you in my audience are doing TikToks, Reels, YouTube Shorts, you really only have a couple seconds to grab people's attention to encourage them to watch your video all the way through. So why do hooks matter? In today's digital world, you have just a couple seconds to grab their attention. And whether you're creating a blog post, video content like we talked about, giving social media updates like Facebook posts, things like that, you need a hook and hook them in right away because the attention is the currency of the internet. You don't want to waste it, right? So it's really important that you understand not only the power of hooks, but also how to create good hooks. So let's talk about the different types of hooks. There are, I would consider 4 different types of hooks. So first you have your story hooks, right? Where you're sharing a personal or relatable story that draws your attention in of your audience and really connects with them emotionally. But you've got to understand that you can't start that story out slow, right? Again, it's a hook. We got a couple seconds. So if you start your story hook like back in 1990, I did this and this and this, and I climbed uphill in the snow barefoot, 12 miles, whatever, people are going to keep scrolling, right? So when you're starting a story hook, I recommend that you start with something that's in the middle of the story. So if you're really wanting to grab their attention, say, you're not going to believe how I made X amount of dollars in my business this year, or you're not going to believe what it took for me to solve the problem to XYZ. So start with something from the middle of your story as your hook, and then, of course, kind of work backwards to start the story and really engage your audience into that. Storytelling is a huge, impactful way to grow on social media. So it is important, but you've got to make sure you kind of start with the middle of the story and what encourages them to follow along that entire journey. The second type of hook is a question hook. So pose a thought-provoking question that makes your audience think, okay, I need to watch this, or I need to listen to this, or I need to read this to find out the answer. So something like a question hook would be, maybe if I made a TikTok about why you're stuck in 200 view jail, my question hook would be, are you stuck in 200 view jail? It resonates with my audience. It's thought-provoking to them going, well, yeah, I am. And then they know to watch that video all the way through to find out what to do to solve that problem. Another example of a question hook would be something like, have you ever experienced inflammation in your ankles so bad you couldn't tie your tennis shoes? Maybe that's for somebody in the health and wellness space, right? But people that can relate to, oh yeah, I've seen that, I've had that. And they know to watch that video or read that content to find a solution. The third type of hook is a statistical hook. So this is starting with a surprising statistic or a fact that really shocks or intrigues your audience. So maybe I say something like, did you know that 80% of viewers watch video content on silent? Maybe that piece of content that I'm going to create is to encourage my audience to add running captions to their videos, to maybe write in the caption a transcript of what the video is about. But again, that statistic, people are going to go, I didn't know that. Why is this important? Oh, maybe I need to watch this video to find out why this is important, right? And then your fourth type of hook is a teaser hook. So this gives a sneak peek of what's coming, or maybe creates a little FOMO to build that anticipation. So I very often do this in my personal content as well. In my video content, sometimes I'll do a teaser hook that says something like, you're not going to believe this, or
I can't believe I'm sharing this, or no gatekeeping here, I've got to tell you about what I found. So that teases people for them to say, what is she talking about? I need to watch this all the way through so I can find out. So really understand there's different types of hooks. And another ninja tip for you guys is there is the difference between a visual and a vocal hook. And if you can use both on your video content, that is powerful. That will really unleash and unlock so much for you. So what I mean by that is what I say might not be the same as the words on the screen. So I might say something like, you're not gonna believe this. But on the screen, I write, you need to do these 3 things to get out of 200 view jail on TikTok, right? So it gives them 2 hooks, really roping them in to wanna watch that content. And then I want to talk about crafting these irresistible hooks, you guys, because it's an art and it's a science, but I'm going to give you a couple tips to make sure that you are really understanding this. So first, you need to know your audience. You need to understand their pain points, their desires, their interests. You need to be concise. So keep your hook short, sweet, to the point. Pack it with a punch. You need to create curiosity. So you need to leave your audience wanting more. What encourages them to follow through with that piece of content? Don't reveal everything in your hook, okay? And then last, use emotion. So connect on an emotional level with your audience. Emotions drive engagement. Wire that in your brain. Emotions drive engagement. So let me give you a couple more real world examples, and then we're really going to just wrap up with the conclusion of why this is so important for you. So first, imagine you're a fitness coach and you want to grab the attention of people looking in to lose weight. Your hook could be, are you tired of crash diets that don't work? I'm going to reveal to you one simple trick that transformed my clients' lives. And then go into the value of what is that trick, right? If you're a travel blogger, you might start a post like, picture yourself sipping coffee in an Italian village surrounded by centuries-old architecture. I'm about to share a hidden gem that I stumbled upon during my last adventure. Both of those are really good hooks. They're short, sweet, to the point. They tell people what the video is going to be about. Another ninja tip that you need to know is your hook should be either the solution that you're solving, which I just showed you that in both of those examples, the solution that you're solving in that piece of content, or the consequence of not watching that video. So another example of like a consequence hook would be something like, if you don't watch this video, you're going to stay stuck in 200 view jail. So people understand the consequence of not watching is they're never going to get the eyes or the views on the content that they really desire. So that wraps up today's episode on the power of hooks and content creation. Remember, in this fast-paced world of digital marketing, hooks are the secret weapon to stand out. If you're not seeing the engagement on the content that you want to see, especially on video content, 90% of the time it's going to be your hooks suck. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. So you need to stand out, connect with your audience, and keep them coming back for more. One thing I want to encourage you to do is check out the show notes for this episode. I have tons of resources for you there. If you're not already in my Facebook community, Socially Ausome Entrepreneurs, you need to dive in there. I have almost 2 years worth of free trainings ready for you to dive right into and implement in your business right away. I also just launched a special social media launch kit for you guys. You can get the link to that in the show notes as well. And there's over 100 viral hooks inside that launch kit. So snag them. Don't rack your brain trying to figure this out on your own. I've put it together for you already. The last thing I want to tell you is we have an upcoming workshop called Powerhouse Productivity Workshop. It's December 13th, 12 to 2 Central Time. Don't worry, as long as you're registered, you'll get the recording, even if you can't attend live. But if you really feel like you're not seeing the results in your business that you want to see, I'm going to tell you to jump in that workshop. Let me train on you. Let me pour into you for 2 hours, and let's make a really good plan for you to start seeing the results you want to see in your business. The last thing I want to leave you with is if you got any value out of this episode at all, please leave a review. It is the absolute best compliment you can give, and I can't wait to see you guys in the workshop.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Alyece Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.